welcome back to Simply Fujica, a place for budding and aspiring entrepreneurs. Guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to another video. If you're new to this channel is all about motivating you to get our home care businesses started or any other business that you are trying to get lifted off the ground. I serve this community as a business mentor, and I want to cheer you along as you go on your journey in achieving entrepreneurship. Some of you have been aware that I have been recruiting for an HR position for our business. And so with all the questions that I was getting in terms of what did that recruiting process look like, what happened with that process, I thought, this is a good video. This is a good topic. So whether you have a home care or any other business that you have, there will be a time that you will need to hire critical team members. And so that's what we're discussing in this video. What does that process look like when you are trying to recruit and attract a critical team member? Guys, before we go any further, again, we are really close to this 5,000 mark, so I want to make sure that you like the video. A lot of you are watching my videos, but you haven't subscribed to my channel yet. So take a moment now to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification if you haven't already so that you're notified every time I release new content. Okay guys, with that, let's get started. Some of you are aware that I was hiring an HR generalist for our logistics company. And so some of you were just asking me about that process. And I thought, wow, that's actually a great video to go ahead and create for you guys. Because regardless the type of business that you have, at some point you're going to need to hire those critical team members. And so we're going to talk about today, what does that process look like? So I put together 6 steps today that we can talk through with regards to hiring and attracting those critical team members. Okay guys, if that sounds like something you're interested in, and I hope it is, then stay tuned. Guys, the first step that I have for you is to identify the gap in your business. So each and every person that you hire serves a purpose, and that's including yourself. Everyone in your business serves a purpose for your business. The person that you're getting ready to source for is going to fill that gap in your business. So in other words, I'll use myself as an example. I knew that the gap that was in my business was the human resources gap. And it's not that I can't fulfill that position. I'm actually the person that does it. In order for me to assume more of an operations position, really set the vision for our business, I can't be in the weeds doing the functions that someone else can do for me. And so that was my gap. I needed someone to come in, make sure they're taking on those key critical functions to free up my time to go do a little bit more of the operations side of it. So you have to ask yourself that question. What is the gap in my business? Who would I need to fill this gap? And remember guys, we're not talking about essential workers here. So an essential worker is someone who's frontline. They are performing the task, the daily task of your business. So if you're running a home care agency, that essential worker are your home health aides. In our logistics company, our essential workers are the drivers. So whatever your business is, determine who those essential workers are. And although they have a place in the recruiting cycle, today we're talking about those critical team members. So who's managing budgets? Who's creating the vision of your business? Who's going to help with those critical roles? So yes, we need the drivers in our logistics business, but who's paying those drivers? Who's making sure that payroll is running smoothly? Who's making sure that we have other drivers coming through the pipeline? Who's making sure, who's working on the expansion plan? Who's working on the phase 2 for our business? That's the critical team member. So I just wanted to make sure I spent some time defining the difference. Once you know that you are in need of that critical team member, you have to understand what gap is that person going to fill in order to move your business forward. Guys, the second tip that I have for you is to create your budget. Now that you have determined what is the position that you are sourcing for, and you have an idea of what are the required skills, right? Because you need to know what are the required skills of this person, what is some kind of like nice to haves, and what task will this person be doing for your business. Once you have all of that figured out, we got to figure out how much we're going to pay them. And so some of that is going to be doing some research on your part, right? And that could be a simple Google search. You know, what do HR generalists make in the Ontario, California area? You know, whatever that position is, whatever that location is, you can really start to figure out, because you want to be competitive in your pay. Some people that are going to respond to your ad may already be in a position right now. And so you want to make sure that you've got, you know, a little bit of competitive edge as you're attracting that talent that you need for your business. So this is going to be a good balance of what does your budget say, and then what does your budget need? Because again, sometimes when you're making hiring decisions, you're not making that hiring decision based on your business today, but it's where your business, where you foresee your business will be in the future. So a lot of this is forward thinking. It's forward thinking to get your business to that next level. Guys, a third step in this process is creating your job description. We've already talked about those skill sets. We already know what's required. We know what gap this person is filling. Now you want to set up an actual job description so that your potential talent pool decide if this is a job they want to express interest in. You want to be very clear about what the tasks are, what their job responsibilities are, and what they will need to have in order to be successful working for your business. I like using the job description because it also gives you an opportunity to rank what you're looking for. So there are going to be some requirements that are non-negotiables. If you're going to work for me in this position, you must have the following. There are going to be some things that are preferred, like you would prefer someone with a bachelor's degree. You would prefer that a person has 2 to 5 years experience. You would prefer for them to have those elements, but they're not deal breakers if they don't have them. Whatever your end game is for that role, it should be spelled out within that job description. The fourth step in this process, guys, is to start your recruiting efforts. Now, guys, you want to make sure that, I would say the first thing you want to do is hit up your free resources. So you want to leverage your social media. So any accounts that you have on Instagram, LinkedIn, any place where people can follow you. So any outlet that you can use to let your audience know that you're in a position of hiring, you want to make sure you share that, because word of mouth, it is great to find someone through word of mouth. Depending on who's giving you that referral, if they're anything like that referral, that's always going to be a win-win for you. So I always love to make sure I tell people that I'm in the position to hire. Secondly, you're going to want to utilize job boards. And so I will go ahead and mention in the job description a couple of free places where you can list and just post your job description. However, if you're really trying to get a lot of traffic and you're trying to get it right away, a lot of times you're going to have to sponsor your position. And that's really letting, for instance, a careerbuilder.com or an indeed.com, that's really creating a budget with them so that they can push out your job description to multiple job boards at once. I do typically like to use that. Again, you will have to have a budget in mind when you do that. However, what I love about this function is whatever your non-negotiables are. So let's say you're looking for that experience. Let's say you're looking for that education. You know, you can set that job board up to only, so you'll still get passed, all of your applicants will be passed to you if they express interest. However, they will be categorized based on what your needs are. And so I really like that because it gives you the opportunity to really focus on those ones that meet those aesthetic needs, and then really dig a little bit deeper for those things that are intangible, if that makes sense. Guys, the fifth step that I have for you is to develop a strong onboarding program. And so really and truly, what I like to do is I like to make sure that every task, whatever I'm expecting this person to do, let's walk through it. I want to show you what I'm looking for. I want to see you do it. So that way I'm there to give you some immediate feedback, immediate coaching. If you have questions, you have that immediate support. So whatever that plan looks like for you, if there are training classes that person can take, if there are webinars you want this person to take, if there are certifications that you need them to take in order to grow within your company, these are things that you want to have within that onboarding plan. Are there any passwords to apps that they're going to need to do their job? Walk them through those things. I know what it feels like to just be kind of thrown out there. And since that's not a good experience, you certainly want to make sure that you're creating an experience for the person that you're onboarding so that they feel comfortable, so that they feel excited and proud that they're working for you. Something additional that I wanted to point out here is I typically, towards the end of the onboarding process, I like to read that job description through with my employee. And really the purpose of doing that is to ensure that we're on the same page. So that a person knows what your expectations are, and you can be very clear about what this position is needed. So I think it's just a nice touch. You can get that person to kind of initial or sign off that this was discussed with them, and then it's something that you can place in your file or in their file. So really it's just an opportunity again to reiterate what has already been expressed by the job description before they've applied, their training as you're standing them up within their position, and then again right when you're getting ready to release them into their role. The sixth and final step that I have for you guys is to incorporate that person into your culture and into your business. So you're excited, the person's excited, and you want to set them up for success. And a lot of times that's making sure that this person is really enveloped into your culture as soon as possible. So send a nice introductory email telling you about this person, why you're excited that they're joining the team. Maybe have something to give them. I like to give people a nice planner, something that they can take notes as we're onboarding and as you're getting them up to speed for their position. So just something to make them feel well, to make them feel good about the decision that they made to join your operation. Because remember, the hiring decision is twofold. It's between the employer and the employee. So you want to make sure that person feels good about joining your organization. So for those of you who have gone through the hiring process, or maybe you were on the other side and you were actually applying for the position, drop comments in the comment section. What did I miss? What would you like to add to today's conversation? Well guys, that's all I have for you today. As always, I hope that was a value add. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video and hit that bell notification so that you're notified every time I release a new video. Okay guys, that's all I have for you today. Stay blessed.